What is the difference between entrepreneurs in movie and in real life? Interesting question. So the difference, okay. So again, maybe just to clarify, I think there's a lot of movies that depict different entrepreneurs and things like that. So I think it's very difficult to generalize like entrepreneurs in the movie and like in real life. But I'm super interested to answer this question because I think it's really interesting. Okay, there are like really good movies, right? Movies that you probably will remember for a long time, that has like entrepreneurship, like maybe let's say for example like Moneyball is a sports uh, show, but there's a lot of business aspect in it. I really love that movie. So but anyway, so there's a lot of there are good movies out there that depict entrepreneurs really well, and those are the movies that you might want to like really study and learn from. But then there are movies who have a more kind of like light-hearted kind of theme, you know, like maybe it's a comedy and they don't take um, the topic seriously. And so the depiction of an actual entrepreneur there might not be a real representation of an actual entrepreneur. um, Movies like for example Startup, or maybe the movie that showed Facebook, the growth of Facebook, like when it was starting up. So the focus of the movie was a lot on the drama instead of the actual work that they did. So you need to be mindful when you are watching these kind of movies, and think about what can I take away from this and what are like not useful for you. So this is very important because there's a lot of shows out there that gives a lot of lessons when it comes to entrepreneurship, but it's really up to us to see and look and take away the good stuff from there, right? So as entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs, we want to be always open to look at what are the key things or the gold nuggets that I can take away from this experience. Not only watching movies, but maybe when you are meeting up with friends and listening to people, or maybe reading a book, you always ask yourself, you know, what's the gold nuggets that I can take away from this? And it keeps you awake, it keeps you present, it keeps you open to learning, and it will help in your growth as a person as well. So good. Then of course in real life, entrepreneurship is definitely, unless you are doing it, then that's the only time that you will really understand what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. But one of the things that I think is the main difference between a movie and a real life, right, is that in the movie everything is kind of like shortened up, like chop chop cut, and everything is very fast. And so in real life, of course, building a business really takes time. And if you have ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, and I love his content, and he always talks about one thing that is the problem of like very young entrepreneurs nowadays is that they don't have the patience. So in business, you need to be really patient, and you need to focus on the process, and making things better and better until it becomes, you know, like the best out there or excellent. So patience is really one key factor in real life entrepreneurship. In the movie, of course, everything is compressed and short to fit 2 hours for you to able to like watch it. Then it gives a different perception that everything is so fast, everything is so easy, right? So this is something that I think one of the biggest difference when it comes to entrepreneurship in the movie and in real life. So I hope I don't know if I answered that question directly, but um, I think it's very good to be open to a lot of things, like movies, like channels and books, even TV series. There are Korean shows that I watch to learn about business. So I think I will share that in future live streams, not in this live stream.
How to identify and promote the strengths and overcome the weakness of a business? That's a very, very good question, Duyen. As a coach who focuses a lot on entrepreneurs, one of the things that I really learned and noticed is that the business is really tied to the founder. So whoever runs the business, like owns the business, right? It's tied to them. And what do I mean by that? So a lot of you that are listening to this is probably either you want to start your business or you have started your business, right? So it's a small business and you want to listen more and learn more. And typically this type, you are working with either doing the business by yourself or you are basically working with a small team. But you call the shots, right? You make all the decisions. So now, how you are as a business owner, what level you are at, what level you are playing, then that's basically up to where the business will grow as well. So you're basically like in a pot. So if you can imagine a pot, on top of it, there's a lid, right? There's a cover. And the entrepreneur, the owner, is the lid, the cover. So the more you can improve yourself and develop, then the business develops as well. So going back to the question of, let me look at it, Duyen, is how to identify and promote strengths. So the first thing that you need to do is look at your own strengths. So once you have identified your own strengths and your own weaknesses, then most likely you are able to improve the business based on that as well. So let me give a very good example. So there in a past business that I had partners, business partners. So we were working together, and then this business partner is more introverted. So if the first time you've heard of introvert, so basically introvert is someone who is more inclined to be with themselves, not mingle, or maybe if they do, they only mingle and talk to like a few people. And then there's the extrovert. So the extrovert is someone who is more social. So this person likes to kind of like network and meet a lot of people. So in this partnership, my other partner is introverted. So he doesn't like to be with a lot of people. But I was more introverted. So knowing this in our relationship, then we understood that, oh, okay, since you are more introvert, then it's more difficult for him. It's not his strength to go out and meet people and talk to people and things like that. Whereas me, since I am extroverted, then it was easy for me to go out, meet people, build connections, collaborate, all these things. And again, this is just looking at it as what are your strengths and weaknesses. And it doesn't mean the introvert cannot meet people and build relationships. In fact, when they build relationships, it can be deeper compared to, let's say, for example, an extrovert like me. But understanding all of this, then how can we leverage on this and make it work for us is the key. So that's kind of like how you play with it. What kind of strengths and weaknesses you have as a person, and use that to leverage for the business. So I hope I answered that question. I mean, it's a big question, to be honest, Duyen, and that's kind of like one thing to really set where you are thinking and understand how to go about it and think further. So it's a continuous thing, continuous learning.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.